It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Hey guys, welcome back to another new video, and let's get started with the don'ts first. As you can see, I'm drawing a very dark outline. I'm not using a proper reference for this particular drawing. I'm not including any details in my initial sketch, and also I'm drawing a very dark outline for the eyebrows. In order to draw a realistic eye, you need to understand the eye shape. The eye is actually a sphere, and in the center of the sphere, you're going to have the iris and the pupil. When you look at it at a side angle, you can clearly see that the iris is actually quite protruding, and then goes the skin, the upper eyelid, and then the lower eyelid. Now to do everything properly, I'm using a H pencil, which is a lighter pencil, and I'm going to start with a very light sketch. I'm using a very good reference image for this particular drawing, and I'm including every single detail that I can see in my reference, including the small glistenings in the eyes, the highlights in the lower waterline, and also the tear duct area, the iris, everything. I'm including everything in my initial sketch itself. And also, I'm not going to add a very bold outline for the eyebrows, because eyebrows are just hair that is growing out of your skin, so it won't have any definite outline, so you need to be very careful with that. When it comes to shading, when I was a beginner, what I did was that I used to shade every area at once, and then using my fingers I will smudge everything and then I'll call it an end. But that's not the case when it comes to realism. You can also see that I'm only using the HB pencil, but to do everything properly for realism, I'm using a wide range of pencils starting from 2H to 8B. I'm going to start with the iris of the eyes first, because that is the darkest area of the eye, and it's always better to start with darker areas when it comes to graphite. And as for the tools, I'm using a tissue paper, stick eraser, cotton buds, kneadable eraser, and also some normal eraser. I'm using a cotton bud to blend everything out, and just keep in mind you don't have to throw these away. Even though it gets dirty, it can be used for some light shading as well. Another mistake that beginners make is that they use the same colored image for their black and white drawing. You need to convert that into a black and white image so that it's going to be easier for you to see all the values in there. You don't have to judge anything. You can see clearly in a black and white image, and then try to replicate that. Since these are graphite pencils, you can easily erase them. You can easily lift them off for some brighter highlights. As you can see, I'm using a kneadable eraser for some highlights on the whites of the eyes. The most common mistake that every beginner makes is that we forget the tear duct area and also the lower waterline. As I told you before, the eye is a spherical shape and it's going to be covered with a sheet of skin, and that is our upper eyelid and then the lower eyelid. So it will have some of those thickness. So you need to keep that in mind when it comes to a realistic drawing of an eye. For some brighter highlights, I'm using the stick eraser along the lower waterline area and also the tear duct area, because these areas tend to be watery and they will reflect a lot of light. So you need to note all these tiny details from your reference image, because those are going to help you to draw a very realistic looking eye. When it comes to drawing anything realistic, the only key factor is that you need to repeat all the steps again and again. If you notice, I will shade some of those areas and then blend it out and then erase some of the highlights, and then I'll repeat the process again from shading. When working in layers like this, you get a lot of advantage. You can avoid lots of different problems just to begin with, and you can correct the contrast at any point of time and build the intensity in a particular drawing. Now you can see me add all the creases that I can see in the eyelids, because these details are going to help your drawing look much more natural and much more realistic. When it comes to eyebrows, this is the worst way to draw it. It doesn't have any shape, it doesn't have any flow to it. Now to draw it perfectly, you need a very sharp pencil and also a very dark pencil. This is an 8B pencil that I'm working on right now. And as you can see, my pencil strokes are quick and they follow along the direction of the eyebrow hairs. If you noticed, I didn't do any shading for the eyebrows, because you don't have to do that. As I told you, eyebrow hairs are just some hair growing out of the skin in the eyebrow area. So it won't have any dark shading in that particular area, so you don't have to do that. Now as for the pencil strokes, I try to keep it very random, but at the same time, I will follow along the direction of the eyebrow hairs. You just have to keep in mind that the eyebrow hairs that start from the bottom grows towards the top, and those start from the top grows towards the bottom, and they kind of meet in the middle. I just blended them to give them a very natural look, and now I'm going to repeat the same thing again. If the eyebrows get too crowded, it's not going to look natural at all. So to bring back some of those highlights, I'm using a stick eraser. When it comes to the eyelashes, most of us draw the eyelashes like this. They are going to be straight lines, and most of them are going to be slanted towards the outer side of the eye. For example, in this side, all the eyelashes is going to be slanted towards the right. And that is exactly what makes the drawing look much unrealistic. As I told you before, the eye is a sphere, so the eyelid that's covering that sphere is going to be curved. So to draw the eyelashes better, you need to divide the eye into half and draw the eyelashes like this. They need to be curved when it comes to the outermost part of the eye, and they will be slanted towards the right side, towards the outermost side. And when it comes to the center, even though it's curved, you can't see the full eyelash, so you need to draw some short strokes like this, and they should go upwards like this. And when it comes to the eyelashes on the left side, they will be slanted towards the left, but these eyelashes tend to be shorter, so you need to keep a pencil stroke short and curve them like this. The same thing goes for the lower lash line as well. The eyelashes towards the inner eye, towards the inner corner will be shorter, and towards the outer corner will be longer. And when it comes to the center, it will be short, but it will be going downwards. Also, you need to keep in mind that the lower lash line will have a lot less hair than the upper lash line, so you need to keep it sparse to make it look natural. I'm going to do the same thing that I showed you right now. I'm going to use a very sharp pencil, and this is an 8B pencil, so that I can get some dark eyelashes. Since I'm drawing the eye quite big, I can clearly see the veins in the eye, and I'm also going to include that in this particular drawing, and this is going to make the drawing look much more natural and much more realistic. Now for some skin texture, what I basically do is that using a very light pencil, I'm going to draw some smaller circles and then blend it out with my fingers, and using a stick eraser, I'm going to bring back some of those highlights in that particular area, and that's going to give me some nice skin texture. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful in some kind of way. If you did, then do give this video a big thumbs up and let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye everybody. Take care.